Okay, guys, let's get started. First, we're gonna start with this thing called the K-Cal, an original.
Oh my God, it's like...
Okay. You know, that one actually is pretty advanced stuff. That took me 5 years to actually nail down. Maybe I shouldn't start with day one with that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do something a little bit easier, but just as cool, okay? Let's get with it.
That was a clip from the new Fox comedy, Welcome to Flatch. And we have the director and executive producer of the series in studio with us right now.
There he is. He writes, directs, produces. Here he is.
Thank you for
Paul
having me.
Feig
Thank you,
himself. Good to see you, my man.
So good to see you. Thank you for having me on. Directors, nothing more exciting than when a director is on a TV show.
Yeah.
People have no idea what we do. I directed seasons of The Office, and people come up and say, "Oh, so have you ever met Steve Carell?" I say, "Yeah, I think I met him a couple of times."
People love, you have these beloved TV shows, but you consider yourself a movie guy? Because you wanted to always be a movie director, but you have these beloved TV shows.
Well, you know, I love movies. That's my favorite thing to do is movies, because the challenge of telling a complete story in 2 hours and introducing an audience to new characters, making them care in 5 minutes and giving them a complete experience, that's the most challenging. But I love television because you get to live with a group of characters for hopefully seasons and just go through a lot of different machinations with them. So it's two different ways of storytelling.
You mentioned The Office. I mean, obviously you had people falling in love with all of the characters there, but you know, also the movies, Bridesmaids, The Heat, one of my absolute favorites.
I love that you love The Heat.
Gonna get TJ to watch one
What's
day.
your favorite line from that movie?
I
don't think you can say it. Don't say it.
I cannot say it.
Cancel the
And
show,
you have to
exactly.
bleep me out. Melissa McCarthy at her finest, perhaps. But you say at one point you were actually put in movie jail. Please tell us what your infraction was and how you got out.
I made a movie that didn't make any money. That's what I did.
Do you have to? Who's the judge, jury, the warden of the jail? Who can put you in there and keep you there?
The heads of studios.
Yes, that's
yeah,
right.
exactly. All of a sudden, like jobs you would normally get, and it's like, oh, we're going to go another way. It's like, oh gosh, and slam, and there goes the key and out the window. So.
And you also, I was reading all the things you do. You also act as well.
I used to. I was an actor for a long time. Any Sabrina the Teenage Witch fans?
Yes.
I was Mr. Poole.
Very,
Thank
very
everybody.
cool. I love that.
A lot of fans.
Fonzie was being polite.
Oh, tough room.
But no, you know, and you actually set up and you straightened up here. Anybody has ever seen you, you are an impeccable dresser. But this has been your thing since you were 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
Why is that? How is a kid that young? Why was this always your thing?
You know what? I read a book. I was a big Groucho Marx fan, and I read a book that said Groucho never trusted a man who didn't dress. And so I was like, okay, so I'm going to do that. And then my father always wore a suit and tie at work. He owned an army surplus store, and he'd be back in the warehouse pulling boxes down in a suit and tie. So I was like, oh, I guess that's what you do when you work. And also, I look terrible in jeans. So really about self-preservation.
I'm always fascinated by people who not only are just incredible at directing people to be funny, but are just so comedic themselves. I mean, you have just like nailed every single thing you said. What is it, like, what makes people laugh? What's the magic behind it? How have you figured it out?
You have to. It has to seem effortless. Not that I come off that way, but you know, there's a thing in comedy called sweaty. If something feels sweaty, so that means you see everybody working really hard to be funny, and that's not funny. It's like I think it's very hard if you're doing something about somebody who's funny. If you show somebody funny and then everybody around them is laughing, going like, "Oh, you're funny," we in the audience go like, "That's not funny." But if you have somebody being funny and everybody's going like, "What an idiot," then we go, "No, he's really funny." So that's the. You have to have the juxtaposition.
Well, you have threaded that needle. It's incredible.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.